Good morning, children. Sairam. Children, as you all know, you all are going to have your first online exam. So today we are not going to start a new chapter. Today we are going to start a revision. So children, in social study we have 4 chapters for periodic test. So in this video we are going to start first geography revision. In geography there are 2 chapters. First is environment and second one is inside our earth. So in this video we have take a quick revision of chapter first environment and chapter second inside our earth. And at last we will discuss few question answers related to your chapter. Now let's start chapter first, environment. So now just tell me children, do you remember what you have learned in this chapter? Yes, in this chapter we discussed what is environment, why is environment changing, and what are the basic components of natural environment. So let's start with the points to remember. But before that children, just do one thing, take out one rough notebook and pen to write down the important points. Okay, so let's start with the points to remember. And first point is environment. What is environment? So first of all children, this word environment is derived from the French word environ, which means neighborhood. Environment means surrounding. It is our basic life support system and it is the most important aspects of our life. Now just tell me children, like why is environment changing? Yes, because our need is increasing day by day. That's why environment is also changing, because our need is changing day by day. So to fulfill our needs, we modifying it. Now next thing is important basic components of the environment. So there are 3 important components of environment. First one is the natural component. Second one is the human made component and the third one is the human component. Is it clear? There are 3 basic components of environment. First one is the natural component, human made component and human component. Now move on to the next. First is the natural environment. So students, basically our environment is a combination of natural and human components. So the natural environment consists land, water, air, plants, animals, and it refers to both biotic and abiotic condition existing on the earth. So basically now, as I said, like the natural component or environment also consists 2 components. First one is the biotic and the second one is the abiotic. Biotic or biological components. Biotic or biological components refers to the world of living elements like such as plants or animals, right? So biotic, that means all living organism together formed a biotic component. For example, plants, animals, humans and other organism. Clear? Biotic, that means all living organism together formed biotic component. So plant, animals, humans and other organism, all these are the examples of the biotic component. Now next one is the abiotic. So abiotic refers to the world of non-living elements like such as land. That means all non-living elements together formed a biotic, or we can say physical component. For example, land, air, water. All these are examples of the abiotic component. Now next one is the human environment. Now the human environment, it refers to the activities, creation, and interaction among the human beings. Now, this include not only roads and building, but it also include social, economic, and political conditions. So, is it clear? Natural components further divided into two. First one is the biotic, and the second one is the abiotic. Biotic means living elements, and abiotic, that means the non-living elements. Now, natural environment. So as I said, like it is divided into two, biotic and abiotic. So here we discuss abiotic components. So abiotic component, that means all non-living elements, for example land, air, water. So now these are the important domains of the environment. There are four: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and next one is the biosphere. There are four important domains of the environment: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. Now let's understand one by one all these important domains of the earth. First, environment. First one is the lithosphere. Lithosphere, that means lithos means land. It is the solid portion of the earth where we live, or we can say that is the uppermost or the top layer of the earth. It is the domain that provides us forests, grasslands for grazing, land for agriculture, and human settlement. It is where we find several minerals also, right? So this is the first important domains of the earth. Now the next one is the hydrosphere. Hydro, that means water. It refers to the all water bodies like the rivers, lakes, sea, oceans, etc. that exist on the earth. Basically, hydrosphere or water support all forms of life exist on the earth. Now the next important domain of the environment is atmosphere. So what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is a thin layer of the air that surround the earth. Now, atmosphere, as you all know, it protects us from the ultraviolet rays, harmful rays, and scorching heats of the sun. It consists of gases, dust, and water vapor. Now the next important is the biosphere. Now what is biosphere? Basically student, it is a narrow zone where all three important domain of the environment, that means water, land, water, air, interact with each other to support life, and this is called biosphere, right? Biosphere, that means it is a narrow zone where land, air, water interact with each other, right? And this makes the earth a unique planet. Living being only exist in this hemisphere. Is it clear? Biosphere, that means all living things are exist only in this sphere, biosphere, because all the important domains of the environment, that means the land, air, and water interact with each other and they just form biosphere. That means biosphere is the combination of land, water, and air. Is it clear? Now there are four important domain of the environment. First one is the lithosphere, that means land, hydrosphere, that means water, atmosphere, air, and the last one is the biosphere. Biosphere is the combination of land, air, and water. So children, this is all about your first chapter, environment. Okay, now move on to the next chapter, inside our earth. Now just tell me again, student, do you remember what you have learned in this chapter, that means in second chapter? Okay, so let's start with the inside our earth. Children, as you know, our earth is constantly undergoing changes, so it is impossible to obtain information regarding the interior of the earth. Why it is impossible? Because temperature is extreme high. So from the information scientists obtained, on that basis our earth is divided into several concentric layers, right? Our earth is made up of or divided into several concentric layers. Like first layer is the crust, second one is the mantle, and the third one is the core. So see, now just look at this diagram. This is the division of, or this is the interior of the earth, structure of the earth. Like first one is crust, the first layer of the earth. Now the second one is the mantle. Now the third layer is core. Now third layer, that means the innermost layer of the earth is core. Now this layer is further divided into two, inner core and the outer core, right? So basically earth is made up of three important concentric layer. First one is the crust, second one is the mantle, and the third one is the core. Now let's start with the first, crust. So crust, the uppermost layer over the earth's surface, is called crust. That means crust is the first layer of the earth. Now it is the thinnest of all the layers. Just note down this point, students. It is the thinnest of all the layers. That means if we compare between the crust, core and mantle, so crust is the thinnest of all the layers. Crust is the thinnest. Basically it is 35 kilometer on the continental mass, right, and only 5 kilometer on the oceanic floor. So that's why it is the thinnest of all the layer. Now first one is the continental mass. Continental mass consists two important component. Basically this continental mass is made up of two important component. First one is its silica and the second one is the aluminum, right? Continental mass is made up of two important components, silica and aluminum, right? Now the second one is the oceanic floor. So oceanic constitute basically two important component. First one is the silica and the second one is the magnesium, right? Second one is the magnesium. So this is the first layer of the earth, crust. Now just move on to the next one is the mantle. So the mantle is just beneath the crust. That means this is the second layer of the earth. Now which extend up to depth around is 2900 kilometer, right? Which which extend up to depth of 2900 kilometer. Now this mantle, this second layer of the earth is further divided into two. First one is the upper mantle and the second one is the lower mantle. Now the next one is the third important layer, the innermost layer. Now the innermost layer is the core with the radius of about 3500 kilometer. The central core has very high temperature and pressure. Now this core, that means the third important innermost layer of the earth, is further divided into two. Like first one is the outer core and the second one is the inner core. Is it clear? So basically earth is made up of three important concentric layer. First one is the crust, second one is the mantle, and the third one is the core. Now next one is, just note down this point, the mine. The mine in South Africa is the deepest mine in the world. Just note down, students, and just remember this point. The mine in South Africa, it is the deepest mine in the world. Okay, now the next, there are three types of rock. Basically in this chapter we have learned about the rocks. So there are three types of rock. First one is the igneous rock, second one is the sedimentary rock, and the third one is the metamorphic rock. Okay, so let's start with the first, igneous rock. Igneous rocks are called primary rock. Now just tell me, student, what is the meaning of igneous? Igneous means fire. Igneous rock, they are called the primary rock. And why igneous rocks are called the primary rock? Do you remember, children? Because other form of the rocks, that means the sedimentary rock and the metamorphic rocks, are formed of this rock, that means the igneous rock. That's why igneous rocks are called the primary rock. Now igneous rock is divided into two types. First one is the intrusive and the second one is the extrusive. Intrusive igneous rock and the extrusive igneous rock. Okay, first we understand like how igneous rocks formed. So basically, children, when the molten lava or molten magma cools inside the earth or on the earth's surface, then solidify. So rocks formed in such a way is called igneous rock. Is it clear? Igneous rocks, basically when the molten lava cool down inside the earth or on the earth's surface, right? Then they solidify, they just form igneous rock. Now igneous rocks is divided into two: intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks. Now intrusive, that means rocks that formed inside the earth, and extrusive means the rock formed on the earth's surface. So extrusive igneous rocks, when the molten lava comes on the earth's surface, solidify, then rocks formed in such a way, it's called the extrusive igneous rocks. They have a very fine grained structure, and basalt is the example of extrusive igneous rock. Next one is the intrusive igneous rocks. Now intrusive igneous rocks basically formed inside the earth when the molten magma cool down deep inside the earth, then it solidify. So rocks formed in such a way, it's called the intrusive igneous rock. So granite is an example of this rock. Is it clear? Igneous rocks, there are two types of igneous rock: intrusive and extrusive rocks. Intrusive formed inside the earth and extrusive formed on the earth surface. Now the next type is sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed by the sediments. And now what is sediments? Sediments basically are the small fragments of the rocks. Now for example, sandstone. Sandstone is made from grains of sand, right? So sandstone is made from grains of sand. It's an example of the sedimentary rock. Now the third one is the metamorphic rocks. Now how metamorphic rocks formed? So how metamorphic rocks form? Okay, when the igneous rock, that means the first rock, igneous rock and the sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rock, right? How? Under the extreme heat and pressure. So under the extreme heat and pressure, igneous and sedimentary rocks changed into the metamorphic rock. This is how metamorphic rock formed. Is it clear? Igneous rock and sedimentary rocks can change into the metamorphic rocks under the extreme heat and pressure. Like for example, clay changes into slate and limestone changes into the marble. These are the examples of the metamorphic rock. Is it clear? Basically there are three types of rock: igneous rock, second one is the sedimentary rock, and the third one is the metamorphic rock. Now students, hard rocks. Hard rocks are also used for making roads, houses and buildings. Now rocks are also made up of various minerals. So children, just now tell me, what are minerals? Minerals are naturally occurring substances like which have a certain physical properties and definite chemical composition. Now these minerals are very essential for the mankind. Like how? Okay, like for example, some minerals like the coal, petroleum, they are used for making fuels, right? Now uranium, gold, these are used for medicine, in fertilizers, etc. Rocks are very useful for us. I hope you understood both the chapter. Okay, now move on to the quiz time. So it is a quiz time. quiz to have a quick revision what we have learned in both the chapter environment and inside our earth. So let's start. Okay, now first question is granite. Granite is an example of the dash. Option are, first is extrusive igneous rock and the second one is the intrusive igneous rock. Now just tell me student, granite is an example of the dash rock. Yes, it is an example of the intrusive igneous rock, right? Okay, now the next one is sandstone is made from grains of dash. So options are limestone, silica, sand. So sandstone is made from grains of sand, right? Okay, now the next one is third question. Now just tell me children, the deepest mine in the world is in dash. Where it is located? Options are, first one is the South Africa, second option is the Japan and the third one is the India. So where it is located? It is located in South Africa. The deepest mine in the world is in South Africa. Now fourth one is the Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau is made up of dash. So Deccan Plateau is an example of the igneous rock. So it is made up of basalt. Now the fifth question is, igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into dash rocks under great dash and pressure. Now tell me students, when the igneous and sedimentary rocks can change, so they formed, answer is metamorphic rock under the great heat and pressure. Is it clear? Igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into the metamorphic rock under great heat and pressure. Now move on to the sixth question. Now the sixth question is, our earth is constantly undergoing changes, right? Our earth is constantly undergoing changes. Now these changes we have seen in both the side, that means inside and outside, right? Our earth is constantly undergoing changes inside and outside. Now next question, that means seventh question. When the molten magma cools, it becomes liquid. So this statement is true or false? When molten magma cools, it becomes liquid. No, it becomes solid, right? So this statement is false. Now move on to the next question. Question number 8. The rock which is made up of molten magma is dash. Now the options are, first one is the sedimentary rocks and the second one is the igneous rocks. So which rock is made up of the molten magma? Igneous rocks. The rock which is made up of molten magma is igneous rock, right? Now the ninth question. The innermost layer of the earth is dash. So children, basically there are three important layers of the earth: crust, core, mantle. So crust is the outermost, mantle is the middle and the core is the innermost layer of the earth. Now the options are core and mantle, so answer is core. So the innermost layer of the earth is core. Now 10th question. The World Environment Day is celebrated on. I hope you all know when we have celebrate World Environment Day. So it is celebrated on 5th June. Now the next one is, 11th, which force of the earth holds atmosphere around it? So now the options are, first is the pulling force, second option is the gravitational force, and the third option is the pushing force. So now just tell me which force of the earth holds atmosphere around it. Answer is gravitational force. Gravitational force of the earth hold atmosphere around it. Is it clear? Now move on to the next question. 12th. Landforms are found over the dash and also on the dash. So basically landforms are found over the, first is the continent, right, and also on the ocean floor. Now landforms are formed over the continent and also on the ocean floor. Now the 13th, next one is the plant and dash kingdom together make a biosphere. So plants and animals kingdom together make biosphere. Now move on to the next question, 14th. Human beings interact with the dash and modify it according to their dash. So basically, as I said, like we human beings, we interact with the environment, right, and we modifying it according to their needs, right. Human beings, they first interact with the environment and they modifying it according to their needs. Now the next question, 15th. The changes in the atmosphere do not bring any changes in the weather and climate. Now just tell me, this statement is true or false? That means the changes in the atmosphere do not bring any changes in the weather and climate. No, answer is false. The changes in the atmosphere definitely brings changes in the weather and the climate. So answer is B, false. Now the next question is 16th. Name the main mineral constituent of the continental mass. So basically continental mass consists two important components of the mineral, right. First one is the silica, right, that is Si, and the next mineral is alumina, that is Al. So it is also referred SiAl, SiL. Si, that is silica, and Al, that is alumina. So name the main mineral constitute of the continental mass. So basically there are two, silica and aluminium. Now move on to the next question. Question number 17th. What are the main constituent of the core? So basically core is the layer of the earth. So the main constituents of the core are, basically there are two, right. First one is the nickel and next one is the iron. So nickel and iron are the main constituent of the core. It is usually known as NiFe, N-I-F-E. Ni, that is nickel, and Fe, that is iron or ferrous. So nickel and iron are the main constituent of the core. Is it clear? Nickel, Ni, and iron, Fe, ferrous, are the main constituent of the core. Okay, now the next question is question number 18. What are fossils? Now what are fossils, children? The remains of the dead plant and animals, right? Remains of dead plants and animals. Fossils, basically the remains of dead plants and animals trapped in the layers of the rocks, are called fossils. Right? What are fossils? Fossils basically remains of dead plants and animals trapped in the layers of rock are called fossils. Clear, students? I hope, children, your all doubts are clear now, and I hope now you understand how you have to prepare for your exam. Okay, so till all the best, students. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.